What's good, Internet? My name is attackslug. Welcome to my WWE Extreme Rules 2018 predictions video, and a happy Rusev Day to you. Also, too hot in here for a hat with these lights on. Anyway, we have 11 matches here, which includes the kickoff show, and one of those matches is going to be 30 minutes guaranteed. So get ready for a long night of action this Sunday at Extreme Rules. So our kickoff match is one of the few matches that actually has a stipulation here on the card. And it will be Sanity versus The New Day in a tables match. I'm assuming tag team tornado rules, I would guess, not having to have tags. I don't know if it's only one table spot or if it's going to be elimination, they haven't said. But we have what we have, and as I've said in my daily 5 p.m. videos, Sanity needs to start winning matches. They debuted on SmackDown in a match versus the Usos and Jeff Hardy and lost. Their unit, Jeff Hardy and the Usos, that was their first time teaming, and they lost. So Sanity, if you want to have them as a dominant threat on SmackDown, needs to start winning matches. Otherwise, you run the risk of being another Bray Wyatt. All, spooky and creepy and threatening, and then you lose every freaking match you have, and that's not good. You can't establish a threat that way. The Undertaker was the Phenom and was feared because he won most of his matches. So please, Sanity, win this match. Anyway, moving on to the main card. And funny enough, man, they must really not like the Cruiserweights, because that belt couldn't even make it onto this card that has 11 matches and is going to be like, 80 hours long or whatever. So, we have Finn Balor versus Constable Corbin. And this one I kind of really don't care about. I think certainly Baron Corbin has shown that he can have good matches with guys who are half his size, like, say, Kalisto. And obviously Finn Balor, extraordinarily talented. He is an extraordinary man who does extraordinary things, etc., 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 right? But you're going to have a match with Balor, and it's going to be a singles match. When was the last time he had any paint on at all? So, not having paint on, maybe he could lose, but it's Finn Balor versus Baron Corbin on a pay-per-view. I'd say Finn Balor probably wins this one. So, moving on, we have Roman Reigns, the big dog, versus Bobby Lashley, the Dominator. Perhaps he should actually start doing the Dominator as his finisher. That'd be nice. No more standing suplex nonsense. I mean, sure, it's impressive, I guess, for 1985, but, what are you even doing? And this one, I feel like, might actually end up being the main event, based on what happened at Backlash, but hopefully they paid attention to the backlash from Backlash, which is, hey, two guys who aren't fighting for a belt or even an opportunity to be a number one contender for a belt should not be main eventing your pay-per-view in any calendar year ever. That's just how I feel about it. That being said, it's Roman Reigns, and if neither guy is going to fight Lesnar, I mean, I'm sure at some point they will, but if this match isn't for the right to fight Lesnar, it's just a match to have a match. And that being said, Roman Reigns is the big dog. He has one more stepping stone on his way back to fight Brock Lesnar for the 8,000th time, because Roman Reigns, and maybe one day they'll cheer him, but don't get your hopes up because Roman Reigns. So yes, big dog fights, big dog eats, etc., etc. Moving on. Speaking of big, we have the Monster in the Bank, which I hate that saying. We have the Monster Among Men, Braun Strowman, finally getting his hands on Kevin Owens in a solid steel cage match. Personally, not really a fan of modern-day cage matches. I think they're kind of boring. Hopefully Braun and Owens are, smart enough to make that thing interesting. But why, oh why, much like why would you ever bet against Roman, why would you ever bet against Braun Strowman? In any real way, he is just the freak of nature, and of course, Braun going to take it home with KO in that cage. And Rusev missing that Machka kick. Sucks to be him. Okay, moving on to our title matches, of which there are many, because of these dual-branded pay-per-views. Number 1 being your Raw Tag Team titles. It is Matt Hardy. It is Bray Wyatt. They are the Deleters of Worlds, and it is wonderful. Versus the B team of Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel. Now, as a comedy duo, I think Dallas and Axel have been fantastic, even though they've kind of had that one good note and did it like a bunch of times in a row. They still have some talent there, and I like those guys. However, I don't see them, wow, AJ just going all out here. I don't see them as a credible threat to those tag team titles, and therefore, they're probably going to lose pretty handily to Bray and Matt, and they retain their tag team titles. Now then, a much more difficult match to call for tag titles is your SmackDown tag team titles. It is Luke Harper and Eric Rowan, they're the Bludgeon Brothers now, and they're fighting Daniel Bryan and Kane, the reunited team. Hell no. And the reason this one is hard to call is simply because we don't know the status of one Daniel Bryan. Is he hanging around? Is he leaving? We have no idea. So, while two main event superstars would typically beat two tag team title holders, because that's happened a number of times in the past, I think that we have a way for the Bludgeon Brothers to win here, and honestly, you have an out down the line, because Kane is going to end up being mayor, right? And D-Bry might end up leaving in August, right? So, one way or another, you could totally have a, hey, we couldn't beat you this time, but perhaps next time we want another match and we'll give it to him. Alright, well, put up something of value, and then it's title versus career. That could happen, moving on to the summer. But honestly, just get past this and give us Miz versus D-Bry. That's what we all want. So, your winner here on your SmackDown Tag Team titles, I'm going to say Bludgeons retain. But hey, I would not be surprised for a 1 month reign for Team Hell No. But I'm going to say they retain. Moving on, we have your SmackDown Women's title. It is the Princess of Staten Island, Carmella, versus the Empress of Tomorrow in a rematch, Asuka. So, obviously, the wild card here is one James, by God, any man with two hands has a fighting chance, Ellsworth, who will have no chance to use those two hands, or so they want you to think, because, once again, they have to sell more of those shark cage playsets. So, James Ellsworth, like a chinless piñata, gonna be up above the ring in that shark cage. But, as we saw with Enzo, you can get out of that shark cage. And certainly, Ellsworth is tinier than Enzo, I'm pretty sure. He could escape that cage and still interfere in some way. But, even if that was the case, I feel like the entire reasoning behind bringing back one Ellsworth would be to have him cost Carmella this belt somehow. And then Asuka is your new SmackDown Women's Champion. So I'm going with Ellsworth costs Carmella because he is incompetent, and Asuka, new SmackDown Women's Champion. Rusev Crush! Oh, and AJ taps. How about that? Accolade. It's Rusev Day! Give that man the belt on this fine Rusev Day. Fantastic. He came to WrestleMania on a freaking tank, but still lost. Moving on to the Raw Women's title. We have your champion, Alexa Bliss, versus Nia Jax. So, Little Miss Bliss versus the Irresistible Force, or whatever, for the Raw Women's title. But, number one, it's going to be the only Extreme Rules match of the evening. And I said before, that man, Alexa Bliss, in hardcore matches is not that good. Look back at match with Bayley in the Kendo Stick on a Pole match was not good. So I don't expect anything from this match. Hopefully it will surprise us. But the other wild card is going to be one Rowdy Ronda Rousey at ringside. She bought a ticket, that old trope. But again, even if she is suspended from Raw, she's going to be here in the audience at Extreme Rules. And this match, by design, has no disqualifications. So the chances of Ronda Rousey interfering, I'd say, are pretty much 100%. So that being said, who does that favor? Considering Ronda would have beef with both these ladies, and could conceivably beat them both up. I think that being said, Alexa Bliss, being the crafty heel that she is, will totally somehow manage to have Ronda beat up Nia and then sneak in that win somehow. She's crafty. So, there you go. Alexa retains. Now then, your U.S. title, held by one charismatic enigma, Jeff Hardy, versus the King of Strong Style, Shinsuke Nakamura. There's so much charisma in this match, it is just insane. Now, for weeks, we've been hearing the rumors that Jeff Hardy, not quite 100%, having some, whoa there, Kofi, you done. Having some nerve issues, so I could see them putting the belt on Nakamura because Jeff Hardy has had some time off to heal up a little bit. Would not surprise me, so I'm going to say they really like having their evil foreign heels hold the U.S. title, so I could definitely see Nakamura as your new U.S. champion. Now, who does he defend against after that? You have plenty of guys on SmackDown. That is a stacked roster. You have tons of great mid-card title matches with Nakamura, so make it happen, you guys. Make it happen. Anyway, your other mid-card, or for Raw, really, your top Raw title is Dolph Ziggler as your IC champion versus Seth freaking Rollins, the Architect, in a 30-minute Iron Man match. And as we saw on Raw, McIntyre is not banned from ringside. Well, not automatically banned from ringside, because, as we know, in any match, it is at the referee's discretion on who gets to be at ringside and who doesn't. So halfway into that match, 15 minutes in, they say, no, Drew, stop interfering, you're out of here. Could happen. We'll see. But at the end of the 30 minutes, who will still be your IC champion? I think it goes back to the workhorse, Seth freaking Rollins, because of some kind of weird miscommunication between Ziggler and McIntyre, potentially having a match down the line of Rollins and McIntyre for that belt at, say, SummerSlam? Could happen. Or Triple Threat. I don't know. There's different directions they could go with that whole bit of weirdness. So I'm going to say that Rollins is your new IC champion. Which brings us to AJ Styles, your WWE champion. The face that runs the place, the champ that runs the camp, AJ Styles, versus the Bulgarian brute, Rusev from Rusev Day, handsome Rusev, if you will, in his very first shot at a world title on any brand. So that is significant, that is awesome, but also I don't see Rusev winning that belt. I would love it. It'd be the happiest Rusev Day of all time. I just don't see it happening. So, sorry guys, I have the hat, it's great. I love Rusev, but AJ Styles, just too strong. Sanity, just too strong here. So that was a complete wash. Sanity ran roughshod with 3 different table spots there, even though it didn't break that one time, because this game is a buggy freaking mess. So don't get your hopes up on 2K19, because it's probably going to be a buggy freaking mess again. But that is what it is. AJ Styles, still your WWE champion, and most likely going on to fight at some point. There, it didn't break, but he still got eliminated. What the hell? At some point, we're going to get AJ and Joe, which I know is a TNA match, but still, it's a good match. So there is that. Sanity wins, hopefully, on Sunday. I'm attackslug. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. More videos every day and every Rusev Day. See you next time, right here on this channel. And I'm out.